in all of his wisdom, he didn't make the right decisions because he didn't handle himself right. You can have discernment, you can have all of the right attributes. And there will be mistakes that you will make. But in your making mistakes, you must get back in alignment. You must realign. And he didn't. He went further down the rabbit hole. Even though God comes upon him twice, the Bible says God appeared to Solomon twice. Commanded him concerning this thing. Interesting conversation. This is my conversation for King Solomon today. No judgment for King Solomon because he did a monumental thing. And to really get the fullness of what actually occurred, you have to be King Solomon. But if you've ever experienced the world of spirit and how tricky the enemy can be, if you've ever been exposed to his tactics, you will know that I'm sure that there was something that the enemy did that posed King Solomon in a position in which he could justify behaving in such a manner. Had to have. But we can look at it and we can see firsthand how no one is perfect. This is the king's son, David's son. He has the advantage. But the advantage a lot of times gives you an even bigger bullseye on your back. David didn't have the advantage. And in him not having the advantage, he stayed close to God. Because he knew he didn't have it. He knew any wrong step, game over. So he held closely. But King Solomon grew up in the kingdom. He grew up in the fullness of his father's reputation. And even though he did well, comforts. Even though he had much wisdom, even though he knew how to behave in the presence of God, and even when God wasn't around, there would be the normal things of life that would catch him up and that would not let him go. What would start out as good intentions, binding the demons and using them to do the will of the kingdom, would send him on a monumental journey, binding these demons that were already in him. They were his demons that he learned to bind and to bring forward to be useful in waking life, in the glorification of God. Yet he would he will find that it will be a constant journey in binding them. Constant. And so, much can be learned from this. Much can be seen in the contrast between how David, his father, was able to be successful versus how his son would navigate. Both men, monumental journeys, different outcomes. David and his activity with Bathsheba would spearhead this. This would be the curse of David that Solomon would befall, in a sense. One of them, it would be the curse he would inherit from his father's own activity, coupled with the difficulties of kingship. A very difficult walk. All of them multiplied amongst one another and flowering out in their own distinct ways. Yet, this Bible study was to show you how women are the foundation of which we stand. The earth, feminine. We already went over that in past episodes. Women would establish King Solomon, Queen of Sheba. She would set him up as an economic powerhouse. Without her, he would need to depend on other people. She would make him self-sufficient. And even though there are women that would be the demise of King Solomon by partaking of going against the commandments of God, him going against the commandments of God for whatever reason, in laying with and loving, the Bible said he loved these women, will cause him to have the kingdom taken away from him. Yet women play a very powerful role in both the creation of the empire and its fall. It's all women. When we look at the Bible, in the book of Revelation, we see women, a woman, signifying the end time, the old serpent, and the original woman. Women. This is my word to you today. You love more than you'll ever know. I'll never stop telling you. Be good to yourselves and be good to one another. Peace and love.